Hi everyone, Thomas here and welcome back to part 31 of my City Living LP here on The Sims 4. So if you didn't see the last episode, well, kind of few things happened which were pretty eventful, so I recommend you go and watch that episode if you haven't already to catch up on what's been happening recently. So Vincent is here now at this person's house, which we may remember from earlier on in the LP. If you don't know who this is, then I recommend you go and watch back from about part 7 onwards, and that will explain a little bit about what this is all about. So he is here, and well, I'm going to explain now as if you've watched that part. Now you're going to know who he is. So this person here, his name is Lockgang Dylan. Now he is actually kind of like a hitman manager sort of thing. So he hires people and he gets them to go out and do those things for money. Now Vincent is somebody that has been a client of his in the past, and he worked with him to go ahead and kill some people that were on Dylan's list, and he gave Vincent quite a lot of money, and that's how he managed to buy that penthouse. Now, since then, he's kind of spent all that money, and he's back in a really bad position again. But he's back here again because he actually got a call from Dylan, because the way that Vincent oh my god, I can't speak. Vincent carried out those things in the past were actually kind of a very interesting way, and Dylan kind of wants him back again to do a couple more things. Now, there's actually only one thing, and to Vincent's kind of surprise, this person is actually Cameron Milton. Now, if you don't know who this is, then from the last episode, this is actually Penny's new boyfriend. Now, if he kills him, then this is going to be a way for him to kind of get back with Penny. Now, at the same time, it's kind of a bad situation because he knows how much trouble he got in this from doing this last time, and he's he's very tense here because he can't really decide what to do, because he's saying that Lockgang is going to give him 100,000 simoleons for actually completing this thing that he wants him to do, but at the same time he could go very wrong and get him in a lot of trouble. So he's in a really bad situation here, because he does have 2 kids as well. He doesn't know how to bring them up because he's a single dad again with 2 kids from 2 different mothers, and he has no money. So this could probably be a really beneficial thing for him. As well, if you haven't been watching the LP, by me seeing like what I've just described, is probably going to be really shocking, because it's kind of a bit surprising for a City Living LP. But if you're new around here, this LP is very, very drama-full, and it's very action-packed in this LP. So I recommend you go watch back the earlier episodes if you haven't, because everything moves very fast in this LP, so I recommend you go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and take his offer, and we're going to go ahead and, I think we're going to go ahead and do it. Now, again, I'm not really too sure what he thinks about this, because it is a pretty, it's kind of a very, I don't know, it's just a lot going on here. So I think what might be a good idea to go ahead and do is just go ahead and talk to him a little bit. I think that might be a good idea to do, to kind of tell him about everything and get this thing going. Now, this is somebody that, like I said, has been on Dylan's list, and it kind of just works out perfectly, because in the end of the last episode, and the kind of greed he has just seen, and as you can see, Vincent is a little bit kind of, I don't know, oh my god, Penny wants to go out for dinner. I guess we could. I'm going to go ahead and go out with dinner for Penny, and dinner with Penny, and go ahead and talk to her a little bit about what she's happening recently, because what I was about to say just then was actually that Penny, well, I'm going to explain once we finish this loading screen, so I'll meet you back off in just a second. Okay, so we're here at the restaurant with Penny, and she's actually kind of dressed up a little bit, which wasn't really something that this restaurant was all about. So I feel like Vincent is kind of feeling that Penny's coming back onto him a bit, which he's kind of happy about, because this was kind of the thing that he was hoping would happen. And yeah, so what I was about to say before we switched over the clips, I was saying that in the last episode, Vincent went over to Penny's house because Penny was right about saying that Alexia wasn't the right person. She warned Vincent that everything was going to go wrong, and it did. So Vincent kind of went over there to Penny's house to kind of apologise in a way, just to tell her that she was actually right. And Penny was kind of like a little bit angry at the same time for kind of Vincent not listening to her, but also at the same time she was kind of happy because now she's kind of got a chance. She's kind of, after that happened, she kind of had a chance to come back onto Vincent in a way, which was a little bit surprising because she is in a relationship with somebody else. But they went ahead and actually went outside and talked to each other. And they kind of started doing a couple more nicer interactions, I guess you could say. They were hugging each other and stuff like that. And once we just arrived here at this restaurant, she actually flirted with Vincent. And It's like really surprising. I didn't think Penny would do this, and it kind of shows you that Cameron isn't really a good person for her, because otherwise she would have not been doing those interactions. So I feel like with Vincent doing this task, this little job that he's got to do for Dylan, to actually go ahead and, it sounds really weird saying this, but to kill Cameron, just to put it bluntly, kind of might be a way for him to get back with Penny, and it's a really bad way of doing it, but at the same time, that's kind of what might be the outcome of doing this, and of course get 100,000 simoleons, which might be at the same time a bad decision, because he kind of spent a lot of it on drinking and stuff like that once he got the money from the other deeds, but now, he's actually like, I don't know, kind of... Oh, I don't know. It's I'm gonna have to wait and see, play it out a little bit, see how it's all gonna happen, and then we'll see what's gonna happen with them. I feel like we might be jumping ahead a little bit too far, but I'm gonna wait and see how that's gonna happen once the deed has been done. Okay, so the food is actually here now, and they're gonna go ahead and enjoy this. It is a little bit late, we did have to wait quite a while, but that's normal with restaurants in this game, to be honest. So they've been talking for quite a few hours about life and things, just catching up and seeing how everything's going on. Now, you may remember that Vincent actually has, well, Penny's kid as well. Now, when Penny moved out, she didn't want anything to do with her kid, but she has been actually asking a couple of questions about it, and they've agreed that Penny's going to go over to Vincent's house after they're finished here and go ahead and see the kid and see how they're getting on, because Penny hasn't seen this kid in a pretty long time, and I think it'll be really nice for them to do that, and Vincent kind of agreed to it because he kind of thinks that might be the first step of them moving back together again, in a way, and I kind of understand his reasoning behind that, and I think it might be a good idea to try. If it doesn't go well, then it doesn't go well, and it wasn't meant to be, but it might be a good idea to try that. So I'm going to get them to finish off this, and then I'm going to go ahead and, I mean, there isn't really a whole lot left to do here, so I'm going to go ahead and end this little thing here, and I'll meet you back off once we get back at Vincent's apartment. Okay, so we're back at the apartment now. It is like 3 AM. There's something went wrong here, and she didn't actually come over, so I had to like do some things to get her to come over, but she is here now. And we're going to go ahead inside, and we're going to go ahead and meet the kids. Now, she heard briefly about him actually having a kid with somebody else, and she heard from somebody else. Now, she wasn't really too sure that actually happened, but as you can see here, she was a little bit confused because she wasn't really too sure if she believed the rumours, but she kind of understands that Vincent's moved on, and she kind of is okay with that, which I'm really happy about, because otherwise that could have went really wrong, and she wouldn't want to be with him again, since he's moved on more than her, but, you know, that's been okay. And as you would have seen there, she was kind of doing a little bit of a bad interaction there to the smells in this apartment, because it is getting pretty bad, and I think that, Penny kind of feels sorry for Vincent in a way for everything that's going on with him, and I think that just kind of taking pity on him a little bit. So, I'm going to go ahead and maybe get them to go ahead and see the baby here. Now, this is the one that Matt over here is the one that they have together. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a couple of interactions with him, get her to see the baby a bit, and I think that would be a nice idea. As you can see, she's a little bit stepping back a little way. She isn't really going over there and interacting with him that much, but she's just a little bit shocked to see him again. She never thought she would actually get to see him again, but now that she's back with Vincent, it kind of is, and in a way, she's kind of missing the relationship that she had with him, and as you can see here, she's kind of just making herself feel like at home, like it was old times. Now, I think what might be a good idea to do, or maybe it'll turn out to be a terrible idea, is to actually go ahead and do maybe a romantic interaction. Now, I'm not too sure how that's going to go down, but she seems to be doing some of these interactions tonight, and this is going to tell us if she wants to go ahead. And as you can see, it went wrong. Now, Vincent got his hopes up a lot there, thinking that, oh my god, thinking that that could have went well, and that they might have had something going on, but at the same time, he's kind of just found out that maybe that isn't what he had expected, so I'm a little bit shocked. I didn't think it was going to go down that way because of the things that Penny was doing. She was flirting with him in the restaurant and things like that. So I'm a little bit confused about what she wants, and if she's having a bad time at home with Cameron, and if, you know, that they have a bad relationship going on. So I think what might be a good idea to do is, once Vincent's got this deed done and now Cameron is non-existent, which she isn't just yet, I think that Vincent wants to think it through a little bit and how he's going to be able to do this, but at the same time he wants to do it because he's going to get a lot of money, and it'll give him a chance to get back with Penny. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. I hope you enjoyed. It was a little bit on the shorter side, a little bit less eventful in a way, but a lot happened at the same time. So if you have any other suggestions about what you think is going to be the next steps for them and the next step for Vincent, and if you have any other suggestions for this LP, make sure you leave those down below in the comment section. Also, make sure you leave this video with a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!